heart of Maine, where rugged beauty meets timeless craftsmanship. Richard Henderson and Sons Masonry, taming the outdoors through groundwork, retaining walls and seawalls, building custom fireplaces that become the centerpiece of your home, crafting granite steps and patios that invite you outdoors, designing hardscapes that turn yards into living spaces, built to last, crafted for life. Richard Henderson and Sons Masonry, quality in every stone.
When I was 29, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I think part of research and advocating for more money for cancer research allows survivors to have more time. Senator Collins supports and advocates for more funding for cancer research so that people can have better treatments, they can have better outcomes, and therefore they can live better lives as cancer survivors. Thank you, Senator Collins. Continue fighting for our families.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
4 people are arrested as part of a drug investigation in Kenduskeag. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. The proposed Juniper Ridge landfill expansion was back in court, and Lifelight of Maine has added another way to help people in an emergency. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Friday afternoon. Nice and clear out there as we get things rolling. We have a lot of sunshine and it'll stay that way as we continue to keep things rolling on. We have a cold front that is tracked on to the east. High pressure is in dominant control. We'll see a little bit of clouds as we head towards the afternoon period to the north, but overall for us, things will continue to remain rather clear. We may see a few puffy clouds this afternoon and maybe lingering into the evening period, but as we head towards your Saturday, look at this. Lots of sunshine for as far as the eye can see. But overall for today, can't complain about this. Mostly sunny with highs in the mid-80s and that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, mostly clear with lows in the mid-50s and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And then look at this for tomorrow. Mostly sunny, still mid-80s on the way, and that south wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. The hourly forecast pushing forward for the afternoon period. Lots of sunshine. Here or there we'll see some clouds, but overall the sunshine will win out with temperatures in the mid-80s and then cooling off. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office says 4 people were arrested and nearly a kilo of drugs were seized after officers executed a drug-related search warrant in Kenduskeag. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office says they, along with multiple other agencies, conducted the search warrant on Townhouse Road in Kenduskeag. The raid follows a month-long investigation into drug trafficking from that location. The Sheriff's Office says it seized nearly 1 kilo of methamphetamine, fentanyl, crack cocaine, and other assorted drugs. They say a stolen vehicle was also recovered from the scene.
We do want folks to know that there is a large police presence in the area, but there are enough resources here to make sure that the public is safe and was at all times.
32-year-old James Cook, 30-year-old Eva Peterson, and 50-year-old Troy Bryant, all of Kenduskeag, were arrested, as well as 37-year-old Stuart Fairweather of Newport. Cook, Peterson, and Fairweather are charged with aggravated drug trafficking. Bryant is also charged with unlawful possession. James Cook also had an active warrant for eluding an officer. They're being held at the Penobscot County Jail. The Penobscot Nation and Conservation Law Foundation were back in court to fight over the Juniper Ridge landfill expansion. The Department of Environmental Protection issued a second positive public benefit determination in March after a judge struck down the first determination earlier this year. Our Grace Blanchard has more.
The legal battle over the Juniper Ridge landfill continues as the Penobscot Nation and environmental advocates are once again working to block its expansion.
Time for environmental justice is now.
The Maine Department of Environmental Protection cleared the expansion project a second time in March after a judge rejected its initial approval earlier this year. The state-owned landfill, operated by a subsidiary of Casella Waste Systems, has drawn sustained concern over PFAS contamination air pollution and burdens on communities along the Penobscot River.
It is the largest landfill in the state, and it threatens the health of the Penobscot River. Leachate from the landfill is being minimally treated and then discharged, and so we know that there's PFAS pollution.
More than half of Maine's landfill waste ends up at Juniper Ridge, which is expected to reach capacity in 2028. The proposed project would expand the landfill footprint by 61 acres and add 11 years to its operations. The DEP argues the landfill is well maintained and the expansion will ease local strain by requiring measures such as a limit on the sludge the landfill takes and PFAS treatment if the license is approved.
It really stretches the imagination and exceeds reason to imagine that this expansion of a landfill that pollutes in so many ways and through so many pathways could ever not perpetuate this undue burden that the Penobscot Nation has been bearing for decades and decades.
CLF and the Penobscot Nation argue DEP ignored the court's order to confront the toll of waste pollution on the nation and how this landfill expansion would deepen it.
The expansion would be really close to some really significant tribal lands where members do recreation. So a whole lot of concern for all of our people, especially our elderly and children and those who may be more vulnerable.
The DEP and Casella Waste Systems declined comment. The judge is anticipated to reach a decision within the next few months. In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A sad ending in the search for a missing Rockland man. Authorities say the body of 49-year-old Scott Clark has been found in Waldo County. He had been reported missing on Monday, and police were attempting to check on his well-being. According to the Midcoast Villager, there's no information about where he was found or how he died, but no foul play is suspected. A Portland woman says she was the victim of a disturbing attack this week while out for a walk near Back Cove. The unidentified woman says she felt that a young man was following her Wednesday as she listened to a lecture while walking. She says she felt the man coming up behind her and then felt something wet on her leg and backside. The woman says she was assaulted with the man's bodily fluids and that when she called police, she says the man was charged with assault but was not taken into custody. Police say the case is under investigation. Water remediation efforts are underway at Northern Light Blue Hill Hospital. A statement says recent tests of the hospital's well water show levels of PFAS over the Maine state drinking water guidelines. The test found PFAS levels at 20.1 parts per trillion. The current state guideline mandates remediation at anything over 20. Vice President of Facilities Tom Doak says, quote, "We are taking immediate steps to implement a short-term fix and a long-term solution that ensures our staff and patients have access to clean water, regardless how small the potential risk," end quote. Northern Light Blue Hill Hospital is making bottled water available for patients and staff. They're also bringing in a tanker truck, which will pipe water directly into the hospital and adjacent buildings. They say the hospital is working with a Maine-based company that specializes in water remediation. Life Flight of Maine has added another state-of-the-art medevac helicopter to its fleet, meaning another life-saving aircraft is now available to help Mainers in life-threatening situations. Life Flight of Maine says the new helicopter is named Yankee Mike, a nod to the last two letters on its tail number N901YM. They acquired the helicopter last year and then spent months retrofitting. Yankee Mike had only 300 hours of flight time when Life Flight acquired it. Life Flight of Maine helicopters generally average 535 hours of airtime each year. It's the fourth helicopter to join the fleet. These aircraft are newer, faster, and larger than their predecessors. Following a month of public criticism, Lincoln Town councilors passed a new budget Wednesday night with a decrease in cuts compared to their previous one. Our Doug Banks has the story.
With a vote of 5-2, the Lincoln Town Council passed a revised budget, decreasing the amount of cuts from the previous budget from 15% to 5%.
We ended up with probably a rough way to get there, but a better solution than what we had when we started this whole process.
Last month, the council passed a controversial budget proposed by Councilor David Ireland that would have slashed funding to departments like public safety, sparking pushback from residents and a major divide amongst council members. The new revised budget passed on Wednesday night addresses these concerns.
It is a cut to the expenses to a certain extent, but without cutting so far as to cut personnel and services.
Lincoln's fire chief tells me the new budget isn't ideal, but it's better than what it was a month ago. We've got the emergency staff we need to run the 911 calls and do our transfers, and that's our goal.
But he says it will affect their building maintenance and the purchasing of equipment in the near future.
Our budget this year is going to be going into maintenance of vehicles because they're old, point blank.
The new budget was brought forth by town manager Wade Schaefer, who recently put in his resignation, something the town is no stranger to, since they've seen 4 town managers in the past 7 months either resign, decline, or be fired from the position. But Street told us on Thursday that Schaefer will remain at his post until the town finds its new manager, despite previous indications that he would step aside following Wednesday night's town meeting.
The fact that he is willing to do that for us really says a lot about his dedication to our town.
In Lincoln, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, faith leaders in Maine are calling for an end to violence involving ICE agents. We'll have details when we return.
Susan Collins broke her promise to protect Roe v. Wade. When Donald Trump called, she cast the deciding vote for his Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe v. Wade. And she voted to put more than 100 Trump judges on the bench. States are banning abortion without exceptions, and women are dying. But Susan Collins says,
I do not regret that vote.
Tell Susan Collins to stop breaking her word. Stop voting for Trump's anti-choice judges.
Some places don't just give you a vacation, they help you slow down. Welcome to Micmac Farm, where peaceful mornings meet the natural beauty of down east Maine. Relax along the Machias River, watch seals play in the water, and make yourself at home while you explore miles of rugged coastline, scenic trails, and beautiful preserves throughout the area. With countless hiking destinations just minutes away, Micmac Farm is the perfect place to rest, recharge, and discover. Micmac Farm. Stay close to nature. Stay close to Maine. Call 255-3008 and plan your stay today.
Imagine stepping onto your brand new deck, enjoying all the benefits of your expanded outdoor living space. Hammond Lumber Company can help turn that vision into reality. Visit any of Hammond's expansive showrooms and explore a world of possibilities. The timeless beauty of wood, the resilience of composite or affordable durable PVC. Railing options from traditional wood to sleek aluminum and contemporary cable railing. On-site consultation and delivery are available. Get started on your new deck when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
I got hurt in this accident and the insurance company isn't offering me nearly enough money.
If you've been hurt, you deserve to be free from your car accident problems, free from dealing with the insurance company, and free from your financial struggles. Call the Twos, it's free.
I made a free call to Lowry Law and they got me $275,000. The Twos set me free.
I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
President Trump is escalating rhetoric against Iran. Iranian state media reports more explosions in a port city off the Strait of Hormuz as it launches another wave of attacks targeting U.S. bases across the region. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest.
Today marks 13 consecutive nights of airstrikes in a war spanning nearly 5 months, with no signs of slowing down. The U.S. and Iran are trading airstrikes across the region, with the U.S. again targeting an Iranian port near the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran launching drones against U.S. assets in Kuwait. President Trump tells Axios he's now considering a, quote, massive attack, bigger than ever before. The IRGC, meanwhile, is issuing a grim warning to civilians in several key U.S. allies, urging anyone stay at least 500 meters away from locations that house American military. 1 week ago, Iranian airstrikes pierced through air defense systems, killing 4 U.S. service members in Jordan and Iraq. The family of one fallen soldier gathered in New York yesterday to mourn the loss of 28-year-old Sergeant Angel Rampersad.
She fought for this country and
and she died for this country, and I am a mother that is highly proud of her. And I know she was really, really focused on what she was doing. She loved it.
Near the Strait of Hormuz, at least 6,000 people are believed to be stranded on some 400 vessels waiting to cross, according to the UN's High Commissioner for Human Rights. The commissioner is urging the U.S., Israel, and Iran to help safely evacuate those stuck, as traffic through the strait has essentially stopped. Oil prices are down slightly today, but gas prices are ticking up. According to Gas Buddy, the national average for a gallon of regular is now $4.10. Its analysts expect gas to surge by another 10 to 20 cents in the coming weeks. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
A new outbreak of the diarrhea-causing parasite has brought a number of people affected to 72 as of Wednesday. Federal health officials are investigating the new outbreak, but have not yet identified which food products are linked to the separate clusters of cyclospora illnesses. The microscopic parasite infects food that has come into contact with human feces. When ingested, it causes intestinal illness. Food safety experts say to make sure to wash your hands before handling food and to cook produce to a temperature of at least 158 degrees Fahrenheit to kill the parasite. Officials have not said where the cases are located. Wildfires continue to rage across southern Europe, with over 80,000 people evacuated from parts of Spain and France. Some 20,000 people have been forced from the villages near Madrid, and over 60,000 people in southern France have fled their homes. The Spanish government declared a national emergency today as firefighters struggle to battle multiple blazes in and near the Madrid region, including the second largest fire ever in Spain. Approximately 500 square miles have burned in Spain this year, triggered by a heat wave. Recent extreme heat combined with windy weather and limited rainfall have created an ideal environment for small wildfires to ignite and grow. Faith leaders in Maine are calling for an end to violence involving ICE agents, not just in Maine, but across the U.S. They spoke Thursday in South Portland. Clergy from Minnesota, Texas, and Florida all calling for accountability for ICE and an end to ICE officer-involved shootings. The organizers also put on simultaneous events in other states where victims have been killed. They call these deaths a pattern of violence that terrorizes communities.
When our immigrant neighbors are attacked, we are attacked. When our immigrant neighbors are attacked and living in fear, we are living in fear. When the hearts of our immigrant neighbors right here in Biddeford are breaking.
The faith leaders say they will continue to push Senator Susan Collins to stand up to President Trump to stop the violence of ICE agents in Maine. Companies using AI and surveillance pricing are drawing fire for their real-time price adjusting. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the details.
This is a growing movement to crack down on surveillance pricing. That's when companies use AI to adjust prices in real time, so you could pay a different price when you're checking out than someone buying the same thing, same time. New Jersey's governor signing a law that prevents grocery stores from using personal data, like your browsing or purchasing history, to set prices. Maryland and Connecticut have approved similar bans on surveillance pricing for groceries. New York also passed legislation on this. New Jersey's law also implements a one-year ban on the use of new digital price tags on shelves at stores. So you might have seen, for example, electronic prices at Walmart, which the company says stay the same no matter who is shopping. There is some opposition to this new law. An association representing New Jersey businesses says that new limits on consumer data could ultimately result in fewer loyalty programs, coupons, and discounts for customers. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
After the break, Augusta is gearing up for a big event this weekend. We'll be right back.
Are your basement walls bowing, crumbling, or failing? Hi, I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basementy. Our stable lock wall system offers a patented, affordable, and permanent solution to save your foundation walls. It stabilizes, fills voids, and structurally repairs, leaving a new smooth surface. All the strength of new walls. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Carpets looking tired, stained, or just plain dirty? It's time to call the pros. At C&R Carpet Cleaning, we use deep steam technology to remove dirt, odors, pet hair, and allergens fast. Fresh, clean carpets, healthier home. That's the CNR promise. Visit our Facebook page for a free estimate or call us today, 631-7380. Step into clean with CNR Carpet Cleaning.
Kirk Fisher is a motorcycle attorney with first responder experience. He protects fellow riders and those in danger, fighting fires and fighting for your rights. Experienced, determined, and dedicated. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. Look for motorcycles, or Kirk Fisher will be looking for you.
Still getting glitched by cable internet? Enough already. Fidium is 100% fiber internet. Ultra reliable, lightning fast. So everything you do online works exactly like it should.
Zach, go to bed.
Fiber up to Fidium. Get plans starting at only $30 a month at fidiumfiber.com.
This is big fun, Bangor style. The Bangor State Fair, 10 days of summer fun for the family. Welcoming the 70s classic rock legends, the Marshall Tucker Band, to the Cross Insurance Center Friday, August 7th. Presented by Hollywood Casino, Hotel, and Raceway. Bangor State Fair, presented July 30th through August 8th by Martin's. Plan your day at bangorstatefair.com.
To many of us, summer get-togethers have to have two things: deviled eggs and a good old-fashioned macaroni salad. And since they go so well together, we combined them into one dish that delivers twice the flavor. And the best part, it goes together in no time. We start by cooking some macaroni, like usual. Here I'm using an elbow that's a bit larger than normal, so it'll hold more of the flavor once everything's mixed. While that cools, we mix together some mayo, mustard, pickle relish, celery, and some hard-boiled eggs that we've chopped up, and then give it a good mix. Now, we toss this with the pasta and season it with a bit of salt and pepper. You see, it has all the ingredients of deviled eggs mixed with all the yumminess of macaroni salad. Maybe garnish it with a few deviled eggs and a shake or two of paprika, and it's ready to serve. And if you put this out instead of your usual go-to pasta salad, get ready for lots of oohs and ahs. It's that good. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our deviled egg macaroni salad so you can jumpstart your get-togethers with a 2-in-1 favorite. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, and I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow for even more Ooh, It's So Good.
If you live in the Augusta area, you're probably already noticing a busier environment. Maine's capital city will host the Ironman Triathlon this weekend, and officials want the community to be aware that will mean major traffic changes and increases in foot traffic and visitors. There will be no access to the following: Augusta Greenway Boat Landing Park, Union Street and Capitol Park, and North Front Street. There are also multiple street closures ongoing due to the race. Take a look at your screen for a map. Eastbound Litchfield Road at Smith Road is closed. Middle Street northbound at Hollowell, Lincoln Street and Hollowell, northbound 2nd Street at Winthrop Street, and Arsenal Street from Coney to Route 9 are also closed. Race day is Sunday and expect even more closures, so if you're traveling through Augusta area, slow down, be aware of your surroundings, and look out for those racers. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Webb's RV Center has a 4-acre lot with over 75 previously owned campers all on sale, plus another 4 acres of new RVs and motorhomes. Webb's RV will take anything in trade. You can buy a camper anywhere, but be sure to buy your next camper at your local neighbor. A website can't service your RV, but Webb's RV will, and they have the biggest service department in the state of Maine to help you enjoy your RV or motorhome.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on and the pencil is sharp.
You're driving down the road, and out of nowhere, boom! You're hurt in a car accident. When you call the twos, all you have to do is get better while I work to get you paid. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
Situated in Jonesboro on the coast of Maine lies Barren View Golf Course, a true links course that's a treat for golfers of all skill levels. We feature a driving range, putting green, practice sand trap, pro shop, and snack bar. Open 7 days a week. Please call ahead for a tee time.
Hello, this is George Whelan, founder of Down East Direct Cremation. Over the years, you have come to trust Down East Direct Cremation as your cremation experts, creating the standard for simple, affordable, and respectful cremation care. Through these times of turbulent economy, COVID, rising energy costs, and inflation, Down East Direct Cremation has maintained our price. Unfortunately, due to the ever-increasing cost of doing business, I have been left with no other choice than to raise our price, effective September 8th, 2026. I am sorry. Of course, all current guaranteed mortuary trust agreements will be honored with no additional charges. You or anyone who is thinking of prepaying with Down East Direct Cremation will have until then to lock in our current price of $975 complete. For more information or to schedule an in-store appointment, please call us or prepay online using the button exclusively at downeastdirectcremation.com.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, let's check out the wave heights this afternoon. Overall, not looking too bad at around 3 feet according to the buoys, while further off towards the north and east, still looking rather minimal at this time. We have no advisories again along the coast, while further out towards sea, a little more active at around 4 to 6 feet. So again, somewhat active, but not the worst that we've seen. Water temperatures out there are in the upper 50s to lower 60s at this time. We have 40s, 50s, and even 60s as you head farther off towards the east. But meanwhile, on land, high pressure is our friend. We have a front that has tracked away from us, a little bit of energy to the north, but again, high pressure is our friend out there this afternoon as it's keeping most of the clouds away. We'll see a little bit this afternoon, but not enough to really mean anything, as again, a lot of the northeasterly states and even the eastern coast as well is staying rather quiet thanks to high pressure at this moment in time. But futurecast for us, again, we'll see some clouds this afternoon, but not enough to really mean anything. Some could linger into the evening time frame, but really clearing out overnight. And Saturday, going to be beautiful out there, filled with a lot of sunshine. Get outside and enjoy it. You might see a few puffy clouds again, but clearing out as the sun goes down. And then once we head towards your Sunday, some more clouds on the way, but again, not really causing any problems. With all the sunshine today, again, it will be easy to get sunburned. 7's the UV index forecast, so only a 30-minute burn time, so hats, sunglasses, sunscreen, and shade will be necessary to avoid getting a bad sunburn. So again, as we do push forward, our average high temperature is at 81 degrees. We'll be in the mid-80s today all the way through at least Monday. Before Tuesday, we are back in the upper 70s. So your forecast coming up for today, we have mid-80s out there, mostly sunny with that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, we have mid-50s, mostly clear with the wind overall looking nice and calm. And then for tomorrow, we have mid-80s again, mostly sunny, and that south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast for your Sunday. We have a partly cloudy sky with highs in the mid-80s. Mid-80s again for your Monday. Partly cloudy, overall not too bad. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. We stay dry the next several days with highs cooling a bit into the upper 70s.
Thank you, Devin. A superhero performs some everyday local kindness with a dash of super speed. This video released by the Jonesboro, Arkansas Police Department shows a person in a wheelchair trying to make it across a busy intersection while traffic is still stopped. The wheelchair-bound person appears to be struggling to make the stoplight cross in time as someone dressed in a Spider-Man costume jumps out of a nearby car to come to their assistance. This hometown hero is behind the wheelchair before quickly helping to push it across the road just before the traffic light changes. The super citizen is now garnering local praise for his thoughtfulness. And this was a new addition to the southern poodoo herd at a Cologne zoo in western Germany. Meet the poodoo named Yene. The poodoo species is one of the world's smallest species of deer. According to the zoo press release, her mother is 3-year-old Yadira, who came to the Cologne Zoo from Rotterdam Zoo. The father was born at Cologne Zoo 4 years ago. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The following is a paid commercial program paid for by Ancient Nutrition. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent